Building a custom dashboard for your business used to require a developer, 30 grand and 3 months. I built one for my agency in 2 weeks for less than the cost of one Saturday with my family. Today, I'm going to walk through exactly how I did it, what tools I used, what it cost, and why this is the most underestimated capability in the operator toolkit right now. I'm Craig Frazier. I run Apex AI. Until about a year ago, I would have told you that custom software was for companies with engineering teams, out of reach for a small business owner. The status quo for an operator was buy a SaaS tool, fit your business around its features, accept that it doesn't quite work the way you want. That changed. Today, building custom software is within reach of any operator who can describe what they want with enough specificity. The technology is called AI-assisted development. The tools have matured to the point where you don't need to write code. You describe what you need. The AI builds it. You test it. You iterate. You deploy. Let me walk through the actual stack I used for my client portal at apexportal.atss.pro. This is a real application. Real users log in. Real data flows through it. It runs in production right now. Step 1. The brain. I used Claude to architect the application. Before any code got written, I had a long conversation with Claude about what the portal needed to do, what screens, what data, what permissions, what workflows. The output of this conversation was a written specification, not a wireframe, not a mock-up, an actual list of every page, every component, every data flow. This step took about 4 hours of conversation across 2 sessions. Step 2. The builder. I used a tool called Claude Code, which is a command line version of Claude that has access to my file system and can write actual production code. I described what I wanted to build, drawing from the spec. Claude Code wrote the application file by file. It created the database schema, it wrote the authentication, it wrote the data fetching layer, it wrote the API routes. I reviewed each chunk, asked for changes, iterated. This step took roughly a week of evenings. Step 3, the designer. For the visual layer, the actual UI components, the styling, the responsive design, I used a separate tool called OpenAI Codex working with my front-end code. The designer agent specializes in user interface work. It built the dashboard pages, the modal components, the responsive layouts. Same iteration pattern: describe, build, review, iterate. This took another week of evenings. Step 4, the infrastructure. For hosting, I used Versal, which deploys React applications automatically when I commit code to GitHub. For the database, I used Supabase, which provides hosted Postgres with built-in authentication. For monitoring, I used Sentry. None of these required any development expertise to set up. They were configured through web interfaces and connected to my project with a single API key each. Step 5. The orchestration. The AI agents don't talk to each other directly. I'm the bridge. Claude does the thinking. Claude Code writes the back end. OpenAI Codex writes the front end. I review every change, decide what to merge, what to roll back. The whole thing runs through GitHub, with each agent on its own branch. Now, the cost. Total infrastructure cost for the portal. About $20 per month for Versal Hobby Plan, free for Supabase up to a generous limit, free for Sentry up to a daily error budget. Total AI tooling cost, Claude Pro at $20 per month, plus my OpenAI subscription. Total time investment, about 30 hours of my own time across 2 weeks, mostly evenings. Compare that to traditional custom software. Hire a developer at $100 per hour. Project takes 200 hours, that's $20,000. Plus ongoing maintenance. Plus the lag time of communicating requirements to a human developer. The math has fundamentally changed for operators who are willing to put in the effort. Custom software is no longer the preserve of companies with engineering teams. Any operator who can describe what they want and is willing to spend a couple of weeks of evenings can build production-grade applications for their own business. Now, the honest caveat. This is not a no-skill activity. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be patient with iteration. You have to develop a vocabulary for describing what you want. You have to read the code the AI produces well enough to know whether it's doing what you asked. None of that requires a CS degree, but it requires effort and curiosity. If you're not willing to engage at that level, hire it out. If you are, the leverage is enormous. What you should build first. Start with something small but real, not a portfolio site. A real internal tool. a custom dashboard for your team, a specialized form that connects to your CRM, a reporting tool, something with real users and real data. The first project teaches you the workflow. Subsequent projects ship faster. If you want to see the actual stack I used, the tools, the prompts I gave the agents, drop a comment with the word stack and I'll point you to the resources. Subscribe for more videos like this. Link to atss.pro in the description for the services my company delivers using this same approach to development. See you next week.